In this lesson we're going to look at rules of powers or rules of indices. There are 6 rules altogether. We're not going to concentrate on all 6 just now, we're just going to look at rule 1 and rule 2. So let's turn our attention to the first rule of indices or powers. Now this rule is really when you multiply powers, then you really add them together. So for example, if we had a to the power m times a to the power n, m and n being any whole number or fraction, then you add the numbers together. So let's look at an example of this with actual numbers. It's sometimes easier to see. So if we took c to the power of 2 and multiplied it by c to the power of 3, then what we have is c to the power of 2 plus 3. Now written out, to see that written out long ways, if you like, c squared is equal to c times c. That's for this bit. And then we're multiplying that by c cubed, so c times c times c, which gives you c to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But instead of writing out this long way, we can actually just add the powers together to get 5. And that works for numbers as well, as long as the numbers are the same, the numbers at the bottom, called your base if you like. So as long as it's 4 to the power 2 multiplied, as long as the next number is also a 4, then that would work out as 4 to the power of 5. And same principle, if you don't need to use a 4, you can use any number. If I used, for example, 6, if I did 6 to the power of 3 and multiplied it by 6 to the power of 4, then that's equal to 6 to the power of 7. Just add the powers. Okay, let's look at rule 2. Now rule 2 is the division of powers. So if I take any base, if you like, any number at the bottom here, and take it to the power of m and divide it by a to the power n, then when you're dividing, you're doing the opposite of multiplying, so we end up subtracting the powers. So let's have a look at what that would look like with numbers. So if we've got c to the power of 5 and we're dividing it by c squared, then to write that out long ways, you'd have c times c times c times c times c in the top line, and then c times c in the bottom line. Now notice I've put these red lines through. What we can do is we can divide top and bottom by the same thing now. So if I divide top and bottom by c once here, and then divide top and bottom by c again, now what I'm left with in the top is c to the power of 3, c cubed, and on the bottom, if I'm dividing by c times c, I've just left with a 1, so it's just c cubed. Now a quick way to do that is just do 5 take away 2. And again, this idea works with numbers as your base. So if we did 7 to the power of 4 and we divided by 7 to the power of 2, as long as these numbers are the same, the 7s, then we're going to get 7 squared. 4 take away 2. Again, pick a different number. Let's say we use 9. 9 to the power of 7 divided by 9 to the power of 4, well, that's going to be 9 to the power of 3. 7 take away 4.